Hello, welcome to the Pacific Northwest Mermaid Tarot. If this is your first time doing a pick a card reading, I want to show you these piles and I want you to think about which one you saw when you clicked on the video. Typically your intuition picks very quickly, but if it's taking you a moment, just look at each pile and see which one your eye lingers on the longest. I have here the Sea Soul's Journey Oracle cards, and there's a bit of shell from the Oregon coast here. There's some wild lavender right here. There's some wild sweet pea right here. It's starting to wilt a little because it's so overcast today. And then I have a bit of a crystal that's actually made from salt right here. If any of that speaks to you, I'll have timestamps linked down below. Go ahead and skip forward to the pile that you picked. Today's message will be whatever it is that the universe places on my heart as I'm reading, but I know it's going to be some kind of a message that was meant for you. If you found this channel, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here, and let's begin. Alright, pile number one, if this is the deck of cards that you picked, and you picked the crystal that has the salt element, I'm going to set that just off to the side. I'm going to begin by shuffling these cards, seeing what message wants to come out. If you have this deck at home, maybe you're excited for the messages in here, just wanting to see which one it is. I almost feel like that one would have fall out, but one thing I found with tarot cards and oracle cards and any cards that are meant for the universe to communicate with us, if a card wants to fall out, it's going to fall out, and there it is. Alright, wild. What's so interesting about this is that when I picked up these cards before putting them out, I actually saw this card and I was like, I wonder if it'll fall out in today's reading, and here it is. May you express all that you are. Now, because this is a general reading, I'm going to see one more card wants to come out as well. Bliss. May you feel deeply and transcend. I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the tarot cards and see what else the universe has for you. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot deck. I really like how naturey these cards are. You'll see in a moment when they start coming out. It has such a Pacific Northwest feeling to so many of these cards. Just the adventuring. This one here. Oh, we have the Knight of Wands. And it's reversed. But you can see what I'm saying. Look at that. Everything from the Golden Retriever to this lake with the evergreens in the background. I'm going to set that to the side. Once more cards are out, we'll go through them. I don't know, maybe one of those cards. If the cards want to come out, they come out. Oh, there we go. The Lovers wants to come out. I'm just going to go with all of them. The High Priestess, inverted. Set that right there. The Nine of Pentacles. And the Page of Cups. Now let me see if there are any other cards that want to come out. I try to never put away the deck until I know that all of the cards that want to come out have come out, even if it takes a while. You want to make sure that you don't stop listening before the message is complete. I think that's it. I don't think there are any other cards. All right, we're gonna put this deck away. Oh, this one, right at the last moment. Oh, the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of generosity. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this reading. Right away, the Knight of Wands coming out, and then I kind of felt called to stick him next to this card, the Wild. The Knight of Wands is a card that, when reversed, it's about running from commitment. Perhaps you are in a place in your life where you feel like you can't stay wild and be authentic to yourself and make a commitment. This could also be the universe saying, now is not the time to commit. The next card to come out is the Lovers. This card is so beautiful. Just look at all of this pink that's in this card. I know it's so overcast today, but it looks just like the sunsets we get all summer long out here. When the Lovers are reversed, especially next to a card of resisting commitment, that has a message on its own that I think I don't even have to go into it. You can understand it. But the High Priestess is here, and she's reversed. And the High Priestess is a card of intuition. She holds the moon. She's so in tune to nature, to the cycles of change, the seasons. Just imagine if you could feel on your skin that it was going to rain in the evening, but you felt it as soon as you woke up in the morning. Just that level of being in tune with nature and that which is going on around you. That is the energy of the High Priestess. Think about the moons and how they control tides. And here she is holding the moon. But she's reversed right now. So there's a part of you that's really had your intuition, maybe it's been turned off, or maybe you're in a situation where you can't breathe and find space in order to listen to what it is that your intuition is saying. And then moving over here with Bliss, and I almost feel like this is the same reading, but there are two different things being talked about here. Two things that are very connected. Let me go back to the Oracle card. May you feel deeply and transcend. There is absolutely a part of you that is not feeling right now. There is a numbness that you're experiencing. I wouldn't be surprised if you're experiencing a feeling of lack right now with the Nine of Pentacles. Let me show you this card a little closer because it's so beautiful, especially with, autumn right around the corner out here. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of abundance. She has enough wealth in the seeds of these sunflowers. She is set for the summer. You can even see it's a bit dark, but there are these birds that she's actually feeding. She has so much she's able to share. And not surprisingly, the card, the Six of Pentacles, came out reversed. And this is a card of giving and generosity. And having such an abundance that you're able to share is what this card represents. Whereas this card, it's giving even out of lack. And that it's reversed, there's a part of you that feels so restricted right now. And my heart goes out to you because I know I've felt that before times in my life where you don't feel like you have anything to give. This isn't necessarily only financial. This could also be, just feeling like you can't commit to one more thing. Someone asks you for help and you just can't do it. You're at your limit. And the Page of Cups over here, when the Page of Cups is reversed, there's been some immaturity happening. Maybe you've been neglecting your inner child, or maybe there's some form of insecurity, which might also be why you're running from commitment over here with the Knight of Wands. If this is where you're at right now, these oracle cards are such a good place to start. May you express all that you are. If you are running from commitment, it is okay to voice that that is what's going on. Write about it in your journal. With the Lovers, there's nothing in this reading saying that this is a relationship or a thing you should be committing to. It's simply expressing right now that this is where there's turmoil happening. That this is why the turmoil is here. You're not connected to yourself. And perhaps you're in a place of fight or flight, and that's causing you to feel like you can't listen to your intuition. As a result of whatever that is, you're also feeling blocked, like you don't have anything to give. You're in a state of lack. You are the opposite of abundant right now, or at least that's how you feel. And there's vulnerability going on right here. Look at what this card looks like upright. Upright, the Page of Cups is a dreamer. He's sensitive, but he's also not afraid to be himself. He's innocent. His inner child is just so happy. And I think that's what you would like to be. But I think you're afraid to let your inner child out. I'm going to draw one more oracle card. This one is going to be from the deck of magical herbs. And I do link all of the cards that I use down below in the description if you're interested in looking at any of the decks, getting some for your own practice, or just reading about the authors as well. Call on the universe, call on God and the angels, and all that is good, the energy of pure white light. What is it that those who picked group number 1 need to hear? The forbidden fruit. This card is not what it initially seems. In fact, if you read what it is that the artist wrote about this, she said that the apple has been given a terrible time since the beginning, when it was seen as the fruit that caused the destruction of innocence. And when it shows up in your reading, what you're being called to ask yourself is, what have you forbidden yourself from doing? Who have you forbidden yourself from loving? Is there anything that you have looked at, perhaps the commitment you're running from, and you've said, no, that's bad for me, I need to stay away? And again, this reading is not telling you to go in one direction or the other. This reading is asking you how you can be in tune with your most authentic self apart from this entire situation, so that, go to this oracle card right here again, may you feel deeply and transcend, so that you can be in a place where potentially all of these cards are upright, where you're no longer running from commitment, you're no longer experiencing your relationships being outbalanced, you feel generous, your body and your mind and your heart, your soul are all open to abundance and wealth. And your inner child is able to exist freely and still feel protected within you. For those of you who picked pile number 1, this is all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you the best and hope I see you in another reading. Bye. Alright, for those of you who picked pile number 2, this is your reading. Go ahead, and I'm going to move this flower up to the side. Keep its energy throughout the reading. I'm just going to shuffle these cards here and see what comes out. What is it the universe needs you to know? What message does it have for you today? This card. Oh, look at that. And this card. Start with this one. Powerful. May you be as potent as the ocean. Begin. May you start as if you have already begun. That is beautiful. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab tarot cards real quick, and we'll see what else the universe has to say. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot deck. If you're interested in knowing more about it, I have a link to this deck and where you can find it online. And that's linked down in the description. I feel like this card wants to come out. Oh, I touched a card. All right, I'm going to keep shuffling. I feel like that card wants to come out. There's a part of me that's not sure. And one thing about tarot cards, if they're meant to come out, they come out. Judgment. There's almost a synchronicity in this storm here, in the storm that is happening. The ocean. What other cards? For those who chose group number 2. This one? The Empress. Look at this beautiful the sunrise that's happening here and the sunrise happening in this card. There is so much synchronicity already. And I know there are more cards in the deck. I feel that patience is going to be a theme here because it's definitely taking a little bit more time for the cards to come out. This one. Page of Pentacles. That's beautiful. Especially as it relates to beginnings, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Any more cards? What does the universe need for you to know? Both of these. The Knight of Wands. This is a card of boundaries. And the Six of Swords inverted. Where should you go? I almost feel like the Six of Swords is meant to be right here. It might be a blockage happening. We'll look in a moment. Are there any other cards that want to come out? I want to make sure I don't put away the deck. There are still cards in there. Don't stop listening until the message is complete. There's another card in here. I feel it. There's like a weight that I get a lot of times with the deck. Like one card is heavier than the others, and I just have to see. This one. Oh, the Knight of Wands. That was just in the last reading. If you felt called to pile number 1, there might be a message for some of you in pile number 1 as well. But for most of you in this group, I'm sensing a different message happening here. For starters, the card of Judgment is a card about awakening and finding your purpose. If this is about your career, it could be about accountability at work or just finding that project that lights you up. The Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles has found his purpose, and he is so passionate about it. Look at him with this sunflower. He's just completely, he's wrapped up in the magic and the beauty. He's just admiring it. He is so diligent. He is committed to knowing every single thing there is to know about this sunflower. And remember that sunflowers in this deck represent pentacles, which are also in other decks referred to as coins. They are the symbol of wealth and abundance. I very much feel that your career is shifting. I think there is an opportunity to begin something new with the Empress here. Look at her. She is full of life. There's a sunrise. She's expecting, and she has flowers that are coming from her womb. She is so content and just in tune with nature. And here she is with the card of Begin. That being said, the Knight of Wands is about running from commitment when he's upside down. Right side up, he means a totally different thing, but upside down, he is running from commitment. And here we have a card that talks about accountability at work. The Knight of Wands is about boundaries. You can see this fence that's been built. Upright, I think you are being called to set good boundaries. If it was reversed, I would say maybe you've been struggling to set boundaries. But because it's upright, I think the boundaries are in place. It's a good thing. And you are being reminded to keep those up. They are keeping some form of negativity out. But having the Knight of Wands here, it's also a reminder to not put up boundaries for the wrong reason. Now, in regards to Judgment and the Empress, the Page of Pentacles, Begin and powerful. Here's your problem. Right here, your Six of Swords reversed. You are stuck in the past. I think something happened. Something happened that made you feel that you are not powerful. You do not have what it takes if you set out on this journey to succeed. And I'm so sorry that that happened for you, but it's holding you back. It's time to let go of that. It's time to leave that in the past. You're being called on a beautiful journey. Judgment is not a card that just shows up in readings lightly. This is one of the major arcana cards, arcana meaning secret. This is the universe with a powerful message for you. It is your destiny. It is your destiny to go on this journey. And perhaps there's a level of commitment to it that you're not ready for. Maybe you're scared to begin because of something that happened previously. And maybe even your boundaries are a little too high. Maybe you haven't evaluated where they are recently. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw one more oracle card. This one will be from the Magical Herbs. The deck is linked down below if you're curious about the artist or where you can go to find it yourself. I've been really enjoying using this deck. I do feel like for this reading it's going to offer a lot of wisdom and insight. I won't even be surprised if more than one comes out. I feel this one for sure wants to come out. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Moulin, maybe, with integration. And I'll look and see what that says in a moment in the book. I'm going to set that there. I get that feeling there's something else that's meant to come out of this deck. I think the universe has another message for you as well. What is it? This is it. The elderberry with cyclicality. I know it has to do with cycles, so look at that beautiful moon that's here and the seasons. I'm going to put that right here. All right, I'm going to read just an excerpt from the book on Moulin, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Moulin brings multifaceted understandings into alignment with each other, easily building intellectual bridges. If you are having trouble with boundaries and accountability and balancing all of that with what happened in the past with this new inspiration and with commitment issues going on here, this is the universe telling you there is a way that all of the realities that are existing for you can be true at the same time. Yes, this happened to you, and yes, there is a way to move on. Yes, there is a way around it. Yes, these boundaries exist and they're good, and there is a way to still commit to certain tasks that maybe you were thinking you didn't have the time for. I would spend some time and journal and see if you can come with, a way that you can reconcile all of those things together, whatever that looks like for you. And the elderberry, it represents going through these cycles because of how it looks in spring versus summer versus winter. And you can read all about that in the book if you're interested, if you decide to get this deck for your own practice. But I'm just going to skip ahead to why it is that the elderberry is in your reading. I'm going to read right down at the bottom of the page where it says, wherever you are in your life, the elderberry reminds you that acceptance of life's cycles is the key to earning your spot at the garden center. The elderberry is a story of life and death and rebirth. That is what the universe is calling you to do right now. Whatever life it was that you've lived, to let it go. And with the Page of Pentacles here, to let it be reborn. Especially as it comes to your career. That's what I'm seeing right here. All right, for those of you who picked this pile, that's all I have for you. I hope you find clarity as you journal, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, for those of you who chose pile number 3 with the lavender, which is so beautiful, you can see here, it's almost ready to go to seed. And it's definitely nearing the end of its season. I'm going to set this off to the side here so we can keep its energy throughout the reading. Let's go ahead and start shuffling these oracle cards and see what it is the universe has to say to you. This card right here. Gratitude. May you honor all that you receive. Look at that beautiful rainbow. It's actually funny. I didn't realize that these cards were going to have this background that's actually very similar in color to the lavender that's here. Two cards, okay. May your soul sing freely play. May you seek out fun and connection. Look at those dolphins. All right, I already know this group is going to be so special. All of the groups are special, but you're the first group to get 3 of these cards, which means the universe has got a message for you. You already have tarot cards that are wanting to come out. This one, oh, the King of Swords. Look at that with the birds too. All right, what else? For those who are called to this pile, okay. The 8 of Wands. All right, I'm gonna place that right there. And I'll get into one of these cards. So one of these cards wants to come out. Both of them, all right. The 9 of Cups, the 10 of Wands. Anything else? I just get the feeling that this group is going to end up with a lot of cards. This one and this one. The 8. That's interesting. Anytime you see 2 of a certain number showing up, there's definitely something about the number 8. And the Queen of Pentacles. Here, that's beautiful. Those are beautiful cards. All right, let me see if there's just anything else. One more shuffle through the deck. Want to be sure that we don't stop listening before the message is fully received. I think this card, the 7 of Cups. Okay, where does he go? I want to point out, because I just noticed it, you have a 7, an 8, a 9, and a 10. Things are really lining up for you right now. This card too. Oh, a 2 of Swords. Okay, that actually gives a lot of clarity to this reading. All right. And these cards wanted to fall just now. One of these 3. This one. The moon. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. We almost don't have enough space for this pile. Okay. Right away, 8 of Wands. This is a card of speed. Things are about to start happening very fast in your life. Are you prepared for it? With the 10 of Wands, look at him tending his fields. You felt very burdened. You might even be feeling like you want to give up. There might be something, maybe it's a job you're working at, maybe it's, I get the feeling it's a job. It could also be a hobby, but I do get the feeling that it has something to do with physical work. You are burdened, you are stressed, you want to give up. With the 2 of Swords, there is a difficult decision that you are facing, or because of the 8 of Wands here, about to face. And I want to point out something. The 2 of Swords is typically a no-win situation. Both decisions are difficult. Both will come with some form of loss. It's incredibly, you're just going to have to grab an arrow and shoot it, which is exactly what this particular depiction of the 2 of Swords is doing. She's just got her blindfold on and she grabbed whichever one she grabbed and she's sticking her bow and she's gonna let that arrow fly. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, this is beautiful. Anytime she shows up in your reading, that is a good sign. Look at how happy she is with her flower crown and she's expressing this creative just talents going on. I think you're someone who's very successful at work. Maybe that success is something that it's going to be hard for you to let go of if you are in this situation where you're burnt out. Or maybe there is the opportunity to have more creativity. And that's what you're leaning towards. And maybe it doesn't come necessarily with the wealth that you expect it to. Seeing the Queen of Pentacles, I think there's a lot more, um, there is more wealth than you realize. There is a lot more that you stand to gain by taking that leap, whatever it is. Now, let's go over here real quick and talk about the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card, especially in a career reading, where it talks about dedication and getting a promotion. There is a promotion in your future. You have shown so much dedication and hard work. That is absolutely on the horizon for you. Congratulations in advance. And then over here with the Nine of Cups, this is a card that in a career meaning is going to be about satisfaction at work and fulfillment. This is a card of contentment, card of success and achievements. It makes the synchronicity here, it makes so much sense. That being said, there is still this feeling of burden, and you're not sure if you can keep going. The Seven of Cups, this is a card of decisions. This is a card where you just don't know. You have so many options, but they are all good options. And that's a little interesting to me that I see the Two of Swords here. That you feel like these options are difficult to choose from, because the Seven of Cups usually, especially being upright, is referring to good options. Now, with the King of Swords, and this might offer a bit of clarity too. The King of Swords is very logical. He's incredibly ambitious and driven. I mean, he's at the top of a mountain with what looks like a trained hawk, and of course his bow and his arrows, and just in general being a can I say badass on this channel? He's just being a badass out here. This is you. This is absolutely you. I'm seeing that with all of these, like the hard work and the commitment and the abundance and contentment that's going on here, there's also a logical aspect that is governing all of this. And the moon is a card of intuition. So let's go back to the oracle cards here. With play, may you seek out fun and connection. There might be a part of you that has spent too much time working and not taking the time to go make friends. And maybe you've thought to yourself, I'm gonna keep my head down and just show up to work and go home. But that's not happening for you. That's not happening where you're at right now. It is time for you to have some fun. It's time for you to have people that you're happy to see and that you are part of that team. And if that means going on to a different team, that is absolutely what's happening here. In fact, the King of Swords in love readings, this can actually indicate divorce. And I'm going to take that in this reading that there might be something you need to separate from. The difficult decision here might be leaving something behind that you do really love. You are being called to do that. But to do that with your intuition as a guide. And that's what's happening here. She's walking. This path is just barely illuminated by moonlight. She's only going to see what's right in front of her feet. She's only able to take it one step at a time. Gratitude. This was your first oracle card. May you honor all that you receive. These feelings of being content at work, that's rare. I would say these days it's rare to really have a job that you were so happy to be doing it, that you feel fulfillment from it, that you're showing dedication, you're being recognized accordingly. And also free. May your soul sing freely. There is still this burden here, and the universe does not want you to keep carrying that burden anymore. You are being called to let go of that burden. That's what I'm seeing here. It is going to be a difficult decision. I definitely can't make that for you, and it's a general reading, so it's hard to really pinpoint exactly what it is that you need to do. But the decision does need to be made. And it will feel like there is no right answer. It is time to just grab an arrow and shoot. And that being said, I'm going to pull an oracle card real quick, one more, and see what we get. All right, using these magical herb cards. What do we have? Actually, I think it's both of these. We have lavender with tough love. Of course this is going to come out. You have this card of being free and grateful and playing. You have all of these beautiful cards of feeling abundance and happiness. You also have tough love. There is also a part of you that is going to need to make a decision. And you have yarrow with pocket of protection. If you're scared, maybe of hurting someone's feelings, or that you're not going to be happy at this next place, or in this new team, or whatever it is for you, the universe has got you. It is okay. It's time to set down this burden. Soon, the decision is going to be made for you with this speed that's happening in the Eight of Wands. If you don't make the decision now, it's going to be made for you. Don't let that happen. Get a little tough love. I just realized that says lavender. Hello. Look at that. That is so beautiful. I've never seen that happen in a reading, but of course it makes sense that it would. You are protected, and it's time to make that decision. There is not a right answer, but you do need to pick one of the choices that are in front of you, and you need to go with it, and you need to commit to it. If you don't commit now, the decision is going to be made for you. For those of you who picked this pile, I wish you the best. I hope that everything goes incredibly well for you. I get the feeling it will. That's all I have for you though, and I hope I see you in another reading. Bye! Alright, for those of you who picked this pile, welcome to your reading. I'm going to go ahead and move this shell off to the side so we still have its energy for the reading, and I'm going to start shuffling your oracle cards. This one, compassion, that you tend to the suffering. That's so beautiful. I get the feeling that for those of you who pick this group, some of you might be suffering. See if there's anything else that wants to come out. This card. Enough. May you be exactly as you are. For those of you who are in this pile, I'm feeling strongly that you've just gone through some loss. And if no one said it to you recently, I feel for you, and I'm very sorry for this loss. And you are doing okay. You need to hear that right now. You are doing okay. You are enough. And I hope the world is showing you a lot of compassion right now. Let me go ahead and let's get out the oracle cards. Sorry, not the oracle cards, the tarot deck. And see what other message there is for you. we have the Ten of Wands reversed. The Ten of Wands, I'm gonna talk more about this once I put the cards down, but I'm feeling it on my heart to just say it right now. The Ten of Wands is about a burden. And if it's reversed, I think you're at a point where you don't think you can take it anymore. You've had it with the situation, you're exhausted. It is just too much for you. The universe hears you, the universe feels your pain, and the universe has compassion for you. This card. The Nine of Cups. Also reversed. You know, these cards came out in a different reading, but the meaning I can already feel, especially with the reversal, is absolutely different for this group. This card. The Five of Wands. This is a card of power, perhaps also conflict. Talk about that more in a moment. Let me just see what else. Page of Pentacles, reversed. This card. The Star. I think there are a few of you who are wishing for something right now. And I think it's a private wish. I think you're very much, even though it's a general reading, I think for those of you who are in this reading, you're all wishing for something to go away. Something that has been a burden to be lifted. I also see this card. The Wheel of Fortune. She's upright. Good things are in store for you. Good things are in store for you. This card. Oh, the Five of Swords reversed. All right. Let me see if there are any other cards that want to come out. Get the feeling that might be it. But, this one. Oh, the Eight of Cups. All right. Let me just check and make sure that there are no other cards that want to come out. And there are. Okay. I don't know if it's all three. I think it is all three. The Fool, River. All right. Right there. This is not new to you. This feeling of burden, this is something you've felt before. This could be seasonal depression. It could be something that just has happened previously in your life and now you're going through it again. And it's a lot and you want to give up. The Knight of Cups in reversed. And the Three of Cups, the Three of Cups is a card of friendship. Look at them dancing on the beach. They are just in their world. And it's reversed. So I think you feel very alone in all of this. There might be some conflict with friends. And this one last card. Okay, the Eight of Swords. All right, let's get started. The Eight of Swords is a card of feeling trapped. I don't know if you can see, it is so dark today, and it just got even darker outside, and then one of my candles went out. And I think that's very representative of this theme as well. I think you're in a place of darkness. You feel trapped. You feel so trapped. The Five of Swords is a card of conflict. Typically, it's a no-win situation. It's reversed, though, which does mean reconciliation. That could be with this friendship. This might be a friendship that has its ups and downs and that keep happening. Perhaps one of the persons in this friendship struggles with mental illness and it keeps coming back. And perhaps that's very difficult for you as their friend, or perhaps you are the one who is struggling with this and you feel stuck in this cycle of, having the friendship be, I don't know about destroyed, but definitely this feeling of, that the friendship is in trouble and then you have to reconcile and just being stuck in this cycle of all of this. The Wheel of Fortune being here is again another indicator of a cycle, and the Eight of Cups is this journey. Typically, the cups in this deck are all seashells, which I find so beautiful. This is you, but you feel like every time you leave, you come back. And I think you feel like you don't have the power to keep going, but you do. Having the Five of Wands here, you are strong enough. But you are not strong enough to do it on your own. That's what I see here with the Three of Cups. The Nine of Cups being here. When the Nine of Cups is reversed, this is a card of disillusionment. Something that you thought would be a certain way ended up not being that. Perhaps this is a medication that you thought would fix things. Perhaps it was going to therapy or a new camp or rehab. And you did not get the healing that you were hoping for. And you are just wishing so hard right now that it could just all be taken away. And I don't know why you have this burden in your life. I'm so sorry that you do. Going back to our oracle cards. May you be exactly as you are. If there is a part of you that feels like you are struggling and like it's you, and you need to cut away a part of yourself, you are enough. You are enough. And compassion. I know it got a bit covered up here. Let me pull it back to the front. May you tend to the suffering. Right now that's you. And you are suffering. And you need to be tended to. You also need to tend to yourself. The universe has heard you. The Star card. The universe has heard you. And your wish will be granted, but it's not going to look the way you expect it to. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is you're dreaming of, it's going to be different from that, but it's going to be better. Let me draw one more card from a different oracle deck. Let me see if I can get any guidance for you. This deck is all about magical herbs and their meanings. I think both of these cards want to come out. Even though these were shuffled, both of these cards were in another reading. We have Elderberry with cyclicality, and Malene with integration. There is a way that all of these realities are able to exist in a way that does not overwhelm and burden you. There is a way that you can embrace these. And I do feel like that is what you're really being called to do right now, is to embrace these cycles. With the elderberry, in the springtime, it has this phase where it is beautiful, and I think they're lavender colored flowers, and they bloom, and then in a way they like bleach out into this white in summer, and then come wintertime they all fall off, just like we would expect would happen with trees. But the tree survives. It survives these seasons, and trees actually need to go dormant. And I'm trying to remember, there was a study that I read a while ago, and I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't remember who it was by, but I remember that they gave trees, or something that usually goes dormant for the winter, they gave them adrenaline shots so that they wouldn't go dormant. And a result of that was, if I remember correctly, all of the trees in the study died. They need that period of rest. And I think that in that period of darkness, which might be where you're at right now, or perhaps it's where you're headed. Maybe you're entering the season of darkness. Even right now, it's summer here in the Pacific Northwest, but it is getting dark and it's getting rainy already. We are entering into just a very dark, gloomy season. Maybe it's seasonal affective disorder for you. I know that's something that a lot of folks up here struggle with. You are being called to birth from this darkness something beautiful. There is a way that this darkness can exist and friendships can still survive, and you can still have your cup full. This card, when the Knight of Cups is upright, he is so charming and he's so romantic, and he just, if anything, I would say this is the card of romanticizing your life. Upright, that is when you are taking yourself to the movies. You are buying yourself coffee and sitting by a fireplace at one of the little coffee shops and just enjoying the ambiance, not on your phone, not texting anyone, just being. You're getting all dressed up and then going out, not with the hopes of, meeting a potential lover or meeting, a new friend even, though of course you're open to that, I'm sure. But just because you are taking yourself out on a date, why not? And there's no shame in that. In fact, you are so proud of it. You're going on road trips and having picnics and just doing these beautiful romantic things without needing anyone to be there in order for you to make that effort. And that is so beautiful, and I think that it's been missing from your life. And I think that adding some of that romance back into your life, taking care of yourself, is what is going to really help as you move through this. And I know you probably feel so burdened. You probably feel like you're at a place where you can't take care of yourself. But think about it this way. I think you've experienced a lot of loss in your life. I do feel that, especially with the card Compassion. Perhaps you lost someone. Take a deep breath with this one, because I want to make sure that we're holding space for this loss and for the grief that accompanied it. And I don't want this to be triggering at all. If you could have that person back in your life, especially if this is someone who maybe experienced an illness. And if you were to trade bodies with that person, and you had to live in their body for a year, knowing that at the end of the year, you had to give it back to them, how would you treat that body? Would you go to the gym even when you didn't want to? Would you stop before pushing yourself too far? Would you give yourself rest instead of staying up all night to finish an assignment? Would you put your phone down, put on your headphones, and listen to sounds of the ocean instead of scrolling until 3 in the morning? What would you do? How far would you go to take care of the body of the person who you love so deeply and whose presence is so greatly missed? You are that person to someone, but they can't swap bodies with you. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to love yourself. And if you are struggling with that, because I know it's always easier said than done, if you are struggling with that, then just imagine when you look in the mirror every single time, you are seeing the face of the person who you love the most, the person who you miss the most in this world, the person who you lost before everything was said, before you were ready to let go of them. That is who you're taking care of. Every time you brush your teeth, that's whose teeth you are brushing. It might sound a little gross, it might sound a little weird. Take it however it is that is meaningful and impactful and useful for you. This is what the universe is calling you to do. Don't give up hope. It's all coming. That which you wish for, you're going to receive it. It won't look the way you expect it to, but it is coming. It is also so dark right now, and I'm so sorry for that. I hope that you are able to hear this message and resonate with it. And I am sending you so much love during this time. I hope I see you in another reading. That's all I have for you today. I'm sending you so much goodness, all of it from the universe. I'm going to be praying for you that you make it through this. And I believe in you, and I'm so proud of you for all that you've done to at least get to where you are right now. You can do it. You are brave, you are strong. That's it.